Good evening, world of film. World of film people.
Well, depending on where everyone is. Maybe they're not
Well,
listening to this in the evening.
It's evening here, so I'm saying good evening.
Okay.
I don't care where you are.
All right.
Yeah, good evening.
Morning or afternoon.
Morning, afternoon.
Sorry.
People who enjoy film. This is episode 24 of The Critical Reel, the podcast that takes a movie from the week, breaks it open, and reviews it. Hi, everyone. My name is Zachary Cruz-Tan.
And I am Jay Cruz-Tan. How's everyone today?
Yeah,
this evening.
You can answer, but we're not going to be able to hear what you say.
Yeah, right.
So, good luck. Have fun if you're talking to your speaker system right now and answering our questions.
I would love it. I would love
insane.
it if somebody listening to it would just be
Just
speaking.
do that.
Yeah.
Just be sitting
great.
Just be sitting in front of their sound system and answering our questions. What is 4 plus 7?
The person would be like, 11!
Who was the first man to walk on the moon?
Okay.
No, don't answer it. These people are going to answer it. Yes.
Sorry,
Our listeners, our prized and very many listeners will be answering these questions, no doubt.
Yep.
The only sad thing is no one will be around to hear their answers.
Unless they are listening to it in the company of other people.
That's true. But then the other people will be laughing at them for facing their sound system and just answering directly at a speaker thing.
Yeah.
Either way, you're insane.
Okay.
Where was I? Okay, so this week, it's another movie that we're going to be pulling out from theaters and talking about. But before we do that, of course, as always, if you do want to answer the questions that we pose to you on this wonderful podcast, you can actually answer to us in text form on Facebook at facebook.com/The Critical Reel. Don't be afraid to send messages. Don't be afraid to post and let me know whatever it is.
Or if you have suggestions.
Suggestions, whatever it is.
Yeah.
For movies that you want us to talk about, any movie that you think is worth your time and our time to talk about, let me know. You can also tweet me at The Critical Reel. Jay, where can they tweet you?
You can tweet me at DialogueSC. Just find me there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Don't forget to visit hookedonfilm.com.au.
Is that the actual website? Because I've tried, and it goes.
It's actually wrong. I've been giving the wrong address this entire time.
Yeah, because I recently tried to go to their website. It's like some old thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, that is actually wrong.
Right.
To make it easier, because I think I know.
Go to their Facebook page.
Just go to their Facebook page. Just go to Facebook and search for Hooked on Film, or just Google Hooked on Film and go to their homepage. I believe there's a WordPress in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So it might be hookedonfilm.wordpress.com.au. I think that might be the actual URL. So I've been giving out the wrong one for the past 2 months. I've been leading all our listeners to some old website. Nothing actually happens on that website.
Many millions of people have been going to their website like, why haven't they updated anything?
Millions of people. We have millions of listeners. Yes, we do. If you are listening, if you are one of those millions who are listening to us on iTunes, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you're one of those millions who are listening to us on iTunes, you probably have subscribed to our channel already. But if you haven't, do subscribe. And don't forget to rate, review, and download our episodes.
And share them with your friends.
Just wrap it up in a nice little box and
put a bow on it.
Put a bow on it and pass it along.
Yeah.
Because your friends are going to be freaked when they open the box and our voices just echo all over the place.
Emanate.
But it'll be worth their time.
Yes.
Okay. So the film that we're going to be talking about today... Jay, what is the film that we're talking about today?
It is Carol.
Carol.
Yes.
Indeed it is. Carol.
Or as people who speak English would say, Carol.
Or Caroldes.
Caroldes, yes.
As we would like to say here on the Critical Reel podcast, it is Caroldes. That is the movie that we're talking about today, starring Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara. We will get to that in a second, but first...
if this is your first time...
No. I wasn't going to say that.
Okay.
No, just very quickly. I mean, this... The Oscar nominations just came out a few days ago.
Yeah.
We unfortunately didn't get to see the nominations announced live. We only
We
saw
saw
the tail end, like the last
categories.
2 or 3 categories.
Yeah.
Jay, what was your overall opinions on the nominees this year?
Well, The Revenant leads the nominations with 12 categories.
Yes, it does. Only because it has 2 nominations in the acting category.
Yeah, I think it's not deserving. Well, actually, it may be deserving of those nominations, but I really don't think it should win any of them. But
is that just your biased moral compass?
It might be.
Speaking?
It might be.
Fair enough.
The second most amount of nominations is Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
Right, with
Yes.
10 nominations, because
Yes.
that movie wasn't there weren't any nominations for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor, or Best Actress.
Charlize Theron should have been nominated. That for
I
sure
agree.
for Best Actress.
Yeah, so that movie wasn't nominated for any acting awards, so that's why it only has 10.
It has 10, and
instead
The
of
Revenant has 12.
which was because The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy were nominated for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor.
Indeed.
So, every category that Mad Max has been nominated for, The Revenant is there as well. It's like
they're gonna be duking it out.
Yeah, it's this epic battle between these two great movies.
but like we said, how great would it be if every category that they're both nominated in,
neither of them win.
neither of them win, and just another movie just sweeps it and takes the award.
So 12 nominations with no wins.
No wins. 10 nominations and no wins. What do you think about? To me, there were 2 big omissions from the Best Picture category, both of which neither of us have seen, but just judging from the way they've been marketed and the kind of reviews that I'm hearing about them, what do you think of the omissions of Steve Jobs from Best Picture and Screenplay, and The Hateful Eight from Best Picture as well? Because I think, let me check. I think. Well, The Hateful Eight is not nominated for Best Screenplay either.
Tarantino's not nominated for Best Director either, is he?
Hateful Eight has got no nominations at all. Score, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Let me check.
No, Makeup and Hairstyle only has 3 nominations.
I think that's it. It just has the score. Oh, and cinematography. Cinematography as well. Yeah, I'm just having a little peruse of the old awards page, nominations page, and you're right. It's original score and cinematography, which is very odd. Yeah, you're right. No screenplay, no director, no Best Picture. I mean, what do you think? What do you think about those?
Yeah, I think that Steve Jobs, and granted we haven't seen either, but from the things that we've heard of it, I think that they were both snubbed for Best Screenplay for Hateful Eight and Steve Jobs, because I've heard really good things about the Hateful Eight screenplay, and
Aaron Sorkin won the Golden Globe for his screenplay, and he's not even nominated. It's just a very interesting lineup. I mean, the eight pictures. I mean, Bridge of Spies made it Best Picture.
Yeah, I was surprised with that one.
That came out of
really
nowhere.
Surprised, because I don't think it should.
And
I don't think it's
Brooklyn as well. That also came out of nowhere.
Yeah. Alright, so what are the 8 films again? We've got
The Big Short,
Bridge
of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max, The Martian, Revenant, Room, and Spotlight.
Right.
So Steve Jobs is not there. Hateful Eight is not there, as we said.
Yeah, Carol's not there either.
But we'll be talking about Carol today, so we can kind of delve into that.
Yeah.
And sort of discuss whether we think it should have been nominated or whether it should not have been nominated. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting Academy Awards, I must say.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone is rooting for Leo DiCaprio to win his first Oscar.
So am I.
It's great to see Charlotte Rampling nominated for 45 Years. That's a movie that I have yet to see and I really want to see.
Great to see Sylvester Stallone being nominated.
Sylvester Stallone. It was great. It was great for Straight Outta Compton to be nominated for original screenplay. That came out of nowhere when we were watching the nominations being read live. There was a very muted uproar as Straight Outta Compton was announced. I think that was quite nice.
Isn't Ex Machina also nominated for Best Original Screenplay?
It is indeed.
Yes.
It is indeed.
That'll be nice.
Like I said, very interesting. A lot of people are again complaining about the lack of diversity in the acting categories. There's not a single black actor anywhere to be seen, or black actress. But thinking back on the year, I can't really pinpoint a particularly
outstanding
worthy black performance. I mean, I suppose if they're just that year, if they're just not good enough, they're not good enough. It's nothing against them.
It's strange. Will Smith was nominated for the Golden Globe.
Maybe. Well, yeah, I suppose. But then again, I've read some rather, unfavorable reviews of Concussion and of Smith. So I don't know. But you're right. That would have been the closest contender, I think.
Yeah.
But if I was the Academy, if I was, let's say the Academy was just one person and I was it, and I was going through the nominees for Best Actor and Actress, yes, I'm under pressure to, include people of color. But if I didn't think they were good enough, why squeeze them in
just for diversity
reasons?
I agree.
When I could exclude a truly worthy contender, just to be politically correct, I would be sacrificing, let's say, that fifth outstanding performance.
Yeah, this whole political correctness thing is just
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
I
I definitely do agree that it's important to have,
racial diversity.
Because you don't want to seem biased in this way.
Yeah,
but if
course.
it's not warranted, it's not warranted. Just get over it and just enjoy the awards. Yeah. Okay. So that was just a little recap on the Academy Award nominations.
Yeah, and I want Mad Max to win everything.
yeah. Mad Max has to win everything. I mean, like we read, it's very unfortunate that Doof Warrior wasn't nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah. for what?
Best supporting doof.
Best supporting doof. Yes. If you would like to read, if you would like to take a look at the full list of nominees, you can actually find the link on the Critical Reels Facebook page. I've actually put up the link. Just visit facebook.com/The Critical Reel, and you will find the link to the full list of nominees. Go have a browse.
Yeah.
Let me know what you thought.
One category, I hope we're not going too long, but one category that I want to talk about, cinematography. I'm really looking forward to that category because Roger Deakins nominated for his 13th Academy Award.
And he's not going to win this
Still
one.
hasn't won one.
Who is he up against? He's up against
Mad Max, Revenant, Carol.
Yeah, he's up against Emmanuel Lubezki again. He's up against Carol, Ed Lachman.
Yeah.
The Hateful Eight, Robert Richardson. John Seal.
Yeah.
And it was Roger Deakins. So he's up against
some tough opponents.
I mean, chances are Fury Road or Revenant is going to take that award. Maybe Hateful Eight.
Interestingly.
But Hateful Eight, again, might just be a technical thing because they shot on, 65mm film stock and all that stuff.
Revenant was shot with natural light and all that. Interestingly, if Revenant does win, that would be Emmanuel Lubezki's third Oscar for cinematography in a row.
It would be. He won for Gravity, Birdman,
and then if he wins for Revenant, it will be his third
in a row. And we checked that. That would be the first time that's ever happened, isn't it?
Yeah. That'd be incredible, actually.
So in a way, maybe he should win.
No.
Well,
yeah, okay. If you go back and listen to our Revenant episode, we talked about cinematography and we loved it.
I was just gonna say that if you're wondering why we're so against the Revenant and so pro Fury Road, I mean, you can always just go back a week and listen to our Revenant episode, and you will find out that I wasn't particularly, what's the word?
Enthralled.
By it for reasons that I explain and elucidate in the episode.
Definitely think that Mad Max is the better film.
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally do. Okay.
That's enough.
Enough of the Academy Awards. Let's jump right into Carol. And now it's time to say what you were going to say just now, which is,
if this is your first time listening, all right, this is your first time listening to this podcast. Our episodes are broken down into four, right?
Well, it is four. But I have, kind of tacked on the last little segment about what other movies are out this week. But it's essentially four.
Okay.
Yeah, it's essentially four. About the movie, it's 4 segments.
Okay, yeah. So 4 segments. We begin with the background and production. No. Yep, my bad. I'm sorry. Whoa, okay. We begin with the cast, crew, and synopsis.
Yes, that's our first segment.
That's self-explanatory.
Yep, and
then we move on to the background and production. Yes, where we talk about all the nitty-gritty that went into the production of this film.
Mostly highlights, because some of these movies have a really long history and a lot of stuff happens during production, but we want to pick out the highlights because, time.
Yeah. All right. And then we move on to the review section.
Yes. Discussion.
Yeah, this is where we discuss the movie.
Yes.
And what
give you our thumbs up, our thumbs down.
Yeah, what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it.
Recommendation.
And a rating at the end of it.
And a rating,
yes. And then after that, we have our list of recommended viewings.
Yes, where we tell you what to see, and you have to see them.
Yeah. Well, then that's
Mandatory
required viewing.
Recommended viewings, as we have said before. Yes. Okay. So we're going to jump right into the cast and crew and synopsis of Carol.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not seen Carol at the time of this podcast, I can't guarantee that we're not going to talk about spoilers. I mean, we can try our best.
Yeah.
We can try our best to not talk about spoilers. But if they do pop up, you have been warned.
Yeah.
To not listen to this until you have seen Carol. I think mostly our podcasts
will consist of
and
spoilerific things.
And it's I think you might get more out of our podcasts having seen the film first.
Yeah.
Because we enter a kind of discussion and it's you know...
We don't really say... It's not like a...
Go see it or don't go see it.
Yeah.
It's just us discussing the film. So go see Carol first and then listen to our podcast. Our podcast it's going to be there forever, so take your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Cast and crew. Synopsis.
Let's go.
Carol. It's directed by Todd Haynes.
Uh-huh.
And it's written by Phyllis, and I have no idea how to pronounce her last name. It's Nagy.
Nagy.
Nagy? Or Nagy?
If it's Nagy, that would be a really bad last name.
Phyllis Nagy.
Yeah. Nagy? Nagy?
Phyllis Nagy.
Let's go with Nagy.
I was gonna say Neji. Sorry, Phyllis, we are completely butchering your last name because we have no idea how to pronounce it.
Her middle name is U, so it'll be Phyllis Unagi. Yeah. Okay, sorry.
I'm Phyllis Nagy. Phyllis Unagi. Oh, God.
So wait, what? She wrote the film?
It was written by her,
okay.
Yes. And there will be more on her to come in the next segment.
Okay.
Carol was shot by Edward Lachman, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
And the music was composed by Carter Burwell.
Never heard of him.
Neither have I.
Sorry.
But it Burwell's Burr's house. Okay, we get it. Yeah, as in bodes well. I'll go like it burrs well. That he's nominated for an Academy Award for his score, which he is.
Is he?
Yeah, he's nominated for a score.
Okay.
Yeah. So it burrs well for him that he's nominated for a score. Okay.
Wow.
Carol
Let's move swiftly on from that.
Carol runs for a whopping 1 hour and 58 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not whopping at all.
Yeah.
And
The Revenant is like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah. And it stars Cate Blanchett, Rooney Mara, Sarah Paulson, Kyle Chandler, and a whole bunch of other people. Here's a synopsis that we pulled from IMDb.com. An aspiring photographer develops... the aspiring photographer is played by Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
Develops an intimate relationship with an older woman played by Cate Blanchett. Short and sweet.
Is that the actual synopsis?
Yes.
Does it say played by Cate Blanchett?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I added that in.
All right.
Yeah.
And I was surprised in this movie that Kyle Chandler wasn't playing some government agent. Because I swear in all his movies he's playing
He wasn't a government agent in King Kong now, was he?
I forgot he was in King Kong, actually.
Yeah, he was the actor guy. What was his name? Whatever his name was, he was the actor guy.
Kyle.
Was his name also Kyle?
No.
Might have been. Whatever it was, he was the actor guy in King Kong. Okay. That was the first time I ever saw him, actually. Yeah. Okay. Background on the production of Carol. It's based on the semi-autobiographical novel The Price of Salt by Patricia Highsmith. I found the date or the year that this novel was published, but for some reason I didn't put it down in my notes.
That's great.
Yeah, that's great. Yep. But it's in the 50s. I think it's 1952 or something.
Okay.
That's when the novel was written. Early 50s. And right. I'm pretty sure.
But isn't the story based in the 50s?
Yeah.
So it was written in 1952.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when it was written, it was pretty much a contemporary novel.
Right.
And it's semi-autobiographical. So Patricia Highsmith, apparently she is Rooney Mara's character, Therese.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. And she kind of fell into this infatuation with this older lady as she was working in this toy company. So Phyllis Unagi, Phyllis Nagy, penned the first draft of the script in 1966.
What?
No.
Oh, okay.
1996.
Okay.
I completely read that wrongly. Wow, and I was so confident as well.
1966. But 1996 is still a long time ago.
It's still a long time ago. That was the first draft penned in 1996. The film was in development for over 11 years, so a pretty long time.
Yeah.
It's had a deep history. Yeah. And Phyllis Nagy and Patricia Highsmith were close friends. And Highsmith wanted Nagy to pen and adapt one of her novels, and she wanted someone who was close to her to adapt the novels because a couple of her previous novels had been adapted before, but they're not very well handled.
Right.
And she wasn't particularly fond of how the movie turned out, so she wanted someone closer to adapt this one, and Neji was the primary choice.
There seems to be almost like a trend of movies recently that have had this long and tumultuous history, like Mad Max and
Well,
Revenant.
The Revenant, the Revenant. I think Mad Max even more so. Yeah,
like from the 98 or something.
Yeah, early 2000s, late 90s. Mel Gibson was supposed to star as Max again. So developmental hell.
Yeah, and then you've got Carol, which is from 1966. God damn.
Shut up. Okay. And the novel was very largely subjective, so it was very biased towards Rooney Mara's character Therese. It was told very much from her point of view. And it was pretty much her account of the entire situation. That's what the novel was. But Neji decided to split the point of view and shift perspectives from Therese to Carol, depending on who was more vulnerable at the point in the story. So
yeah, that's a good point, because it does do that in the movie.
Yeah, when Rooney Mara's character Therese, I'm just Therese.
Yeah.
When she's more vulnerable, the story tends to be from her point of view, and vice versa. When Carol has a lot of shit going on in her life.
I was thinking, like, who is the actress and who's the supporting actress? Because Rooney Mara is nominated for Best Supporting Actress, but I didn't think that she was I didn't think that she was a supporting actress. I thought that they were both leading actresses.
Which is what the Golden Globes did.
Yeah, but I think that they did that purely because
Kate Blanchett
is the title character.
Yeah.
No, not the fact that she's a big.
You can even make
is the fact that her character is the name of the movie. She's the titular character.
Yes. You can also make the same argument for Alicia Vikander, and why is she supporting actress in Ex Machina when she was the sole actress in the movie? The sole lead actress in the movie. So why was she not nominated for Best Actress instead of Supporting Actress? So you can make the argument, and you can argue till the cows come home.
That could be said for Danish Girl as well. She's nominated for Best Supporting Actress, right?
I meant Danish Girl, not Ex Machina.
But the same thing could be said for Ex Machina. Yeah.
But the thing is, she's not nominated for Ex Machina. I got confused. It's actually the Danish Girl that she's nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
You're making a lot of mistakes.
I'm making a lot of mistakes. I'm drunk.
Yes. As you take a big glug of that
my
drink.
Water. Yes. Okay, where was I? According to Neji. This was according to Neji that Therese is a stand-in for Highsmith, as I said in the story, and she therefore opted to change Therese's profession, originally in the novel as a designer, to a photographer in the movie.
Okay. She was a designer
because she wanted to make her profession and her character more human. So instead of dealing with design, where you're just designing stuff and like drawing on sheets of paper and then coming up with fabulous creations, she wanted to be a photographer where she was photographing people and just more human, making more human connections. Okay. Hence the change.
Knowing that now changes my opinion on one of the characters that I talk about. Never mind.
Okay, we'll get to that.
All right.
Evidently. A certain director, John Crowley, was set to direct the movie in May of 2012 when Blanchett and Mia Wasikowska were assigned as the leads.
Who's that?
Mia Wasikowska, the Australian actress who, was the girl in Stoker. And also Alice in the new Alice in Wonderland movies.
Right.
Excuse me again. But then 1 year later, Todd Haynes was hired after Crowley departed due to scheduling conflicts. And if you don't know who John Crowley is, he went on to direct Brooklyn. So no love lost there.
Yeah.
And then Rooney Mara replaced Wasikowska in August of 2013 after Wasikowska herself fell into scheduling conflicts. All these commitment rats.
She's a bad agent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think all these scheduling conflicts are due to bad agents. Agents just sleeping on the job and you're gonna do this movie, and then wait, there's another movie. Let's do that as well. You're gonna be in two places at the same time. Where was I? This is interesting. In rehearsal, Todd Haynes, Cate Blanchett, and Rooney Mara cut unnecessary or inappropriate lines of dialogue from the screenplay during their rehearsals, which is very interesting because I thought there were still very many unnecessary lines of dialogue in the screenplay that I think could have easily been cut. So I would love to know what actually ended up on the cutting floor, considering that there were still so many lines of dialogue that I was like, I could have done without that line. Sarah Paulson and Kyle Chandler were cast in January of 2014, and 1 month later, Corey Michael Smith, Mr. Riddler himself from the Gotham TV series, and Jake Lacey, who plays Richard, a love interest, they were cast in February of 2014. And of course, principal photography began on 12th of March 2014 in Cincinnati.
Of course it did, yeah.
Of course, yep. And ended 34 days later on the 25th of April, and was filmed.
34 days?
It's not, yeah.
Oh, alright.
It's just over a month of principal photography.
Yeah, actually, for that kind of film, it's
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
It's not like The Revenant, which took, a hell of a long time.
Yeah.
And the movie was filmed entirely on Super 16mm film stock.
Oh, okay.
It has this very grainy
16.
Yeah, it has this very grainy look to it, doesn't it?
It does.
If you realize, it's very...
I noticed that.
It's like 300 in that sense, or like
Not
Argo. It's a bit like Argo, yeah. It's a bit like Argo, where it's got this grainy texture that kind of washes over the screen.
I think they do that to kind of signify the time period.
That is bullshit.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure the production design does that well enough. Yeah. You don't need a grainy image to signify. You could have just shot the film in black and white. Wouldn't that have been better?
All right. Fair enough.
Nice try.
Yeah.
Very nice try.
I try.
Okay. So that wraps up the background production of Carol. There was actually a lot more stuff about Carol.
Uninteresting stuff.
Yeah, a lot of it was uninteresting. Okay. Different approaches, different directorial approaches and whatnot. It's all very hobbly gobbly, whatever that phrase is.
Right.
I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah.
So I just picked out the points that were interesting and that people actually want to listen to. Okay, it's time to discuss and review Todd Haynes' Carol.
Yeah.
Jay, kick it off.
Kick it off. All right. Well, yeah, I also tried to cut out some of the hobbly-gobbly in... No, I'm kidding. Yeah, okay. Carol is basically a character story, right?
Yes.
About two characters. And being a character
story... It's a character's story.
Yes. Yes. So being a character's story... That sounds so weird. Okay. Being a character's story, I thought that the two main characters, Carol and Therese...
Yes,
right. Were written kind of well, pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, the arcs that both of them take they're pretty interesting and quite distinct.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the scene when Therese
or Tourette's if you like,
the scene where Therese first meets Carol in the department store.
She just yells her head off.
What?
Tourette's.
Oh God. Okay. The scene in which Therese first meets Carol in the department store.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you see, Carol's this super suave and elegant woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the custody hearing towards the end of the film.
Mm-hmm.
And Carol's like, she becomes vulnerable and she's pretty shaken up,
Mm-hmm.
and that her performance in that scene alone was great.
Mm-hmm.
And but they're just looking at those two scenes, one at the start of the movie and one towards the end. Just look at how she has changed, how Carol has changed as a character. And I mean, she has become.
She's dealing with a lot of shit.
Yeah,
I mean, she is dealing with a lot of shit in the movie.
She has become a bit shaken and all that, but she always was pretty tough and strong throughout the film. Even at
that's interesting, because now I want to ask you: do you think she's a tough and strong character, or do you think she was pretending to be tough and strong because she knew who she was and she knew what her husband was like and she knew the situation with her husband? Do you think she was pretending, or do you think she is actually a very strong, resilient
I
female?
Think that in pretending, I do think that she was pretending, right? Because there were some vulnerabilities that were shown throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that she was pretending, but in pretending, she is still strong for pretending, Does that make sense?
In pretending, she's still strong for pretending.
The fact that
I don't even think you knew what you meant by that.
That was weird.
But okay, I kind of get the gist.
I think the fact that she is pretending makes her strong, because
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Because there were points where she was pretty vulnerable.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but yeah, I do think that okay, that made any sense whatsoever. Yeah, so the Carol especially, I think she had her character journey was pretty good. I mean, just you see the price that people pay, for love, whether it's romantic love or parental. Yeah, I like that because I think the acting was great.
Yep,
from both Blanchett and Mara, and I think they are deserving of their respective Oscar nominations for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. Their performances were pretty stellar.
Okay.
Oh god.
They were pretty interstellar.
Oh god. Oh jeez. What do you have to say about their characters?
I was mildly disappointed by this film. I think it's... See, I wouldn't call it pretentious. It's not a pretentious film in the way that Birdman was.
Yes.
But I think it is... When I step back and look at it, it's kind of a very mediocre love story.
Oh, yeah.
Branded as high art. Branded as a film that you need to go and see. But it tells a very mediocre love story. And there are a lot of familiar elements in this movie that are kind of snatched away from just about every romance drama or rom-com out there. It starts with the meet cute. Yes. At the department store. That's the meet cute. They meet each other. And then there are several subsequent encounters. I would like to invite you over to my house for dinner. Would it be okay if I go to your house tomorrow night? And then they meet several more times. There are the euphoric adventures that they go on. They abscond and drive down and they're all happy. There's the first kiss. They have sex. And then there's the damaging turn of events. What? There's the damaging turn of events, where all is lost. Something happens, and
that's when the drama starts.
And they have to break apart, even though they don't want to break apart, and it's all very terrible, and everyone's crying. And then there's a climactic change of heart or change of mind that leads to the happy ending.
Yeah. Well,
if you watch any rom-com,
you don't know whether it's a happy ending or not, though.
Oh well. It was pretty obvious to me that it was. Yeah, even though the movie does end on a rather unclear note. Yeah. I think it still is a happy ending.
All right.
And if you can take any rom-com, it's the exact same formula.
True. Yeah, I have 3 points here about the story, and they are literally story was rather unoriginal, been done before. Even the fact that they're gay isn't original.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all I have to say about the story.
Even the fact that they're gay, it has been done. I think Blue is the Warmest Color is a far superior lesbian love story. Yep. It is far superior in terms of characterization, especially because the characters, I can't remember her name. Adele. Is it Adele?
Yes.
Adele. Her character.
How do I remember her full name? Because her real name is Adele Exarchopoulos. Yeah.
Well done. Okay. What's the character's name?
Adele something. I can't remember her character's name. Because her name was Adele in the film.
Yeah,
as well.
I remember that. Yeah. I think her character in that movie took a far better character arc than any character in Carol, and I think Blue is the Warmest Color was just a much more tragic, heart-wrenching story about homosexual love that Carol just kind of skims the surface with, very superficially.
Yeah.
And I said that Carol takes the structure of a rom-com, but it more or less absorbs the structure of a rom-com. It's literally taken the rom-com formula and put it into this high art movie.
Yeah.
It really is like all the stuff I've listed is that was me describing a rom-com.
Yep.
Rom-coms, you always get the lovebirds who meet and then meet again, fall in love, and then they have to break apart. Like in Along Came Polly, it was something about Jennifer Aniston's character going off somewhere and flying off to another country, and they were shattered, and then it ends with Ben Stiller running to the airport. It's the same thing. You can literally take that and put it into Carol. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I want to know, when is this period of the torturous same-sex romance going to end. Every gay movie we get, it's always about how difficult it is.
Yeah.
I know, yes, I know it's not easy. It is getting easier. So in a way, we do need these movies to bring a lot of the attention to the situation. But I would love for the topic of gay love in a movie to just be about gay love.
Mm-hmm.
For the characters in the movie to be happy,
Yeah.
to not have to worry about, being gay is a disease, or being gay is something that you shouldn't do, and it's against the law, it's against God, or it's against... Just be gay and be happy in the story.
Be gay and be gay.
Just be gay and be gay.
Yeah.
Be gay being gay.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
That's the name for a movie right there.
That's pretty good.
Like really, all the Freeheld
Yeah.
last year was the same thing. It was, Julianne Moore's character couldn't pass a pension on to a lover because the lover wasn't a husband. It was a same-sex partner, and she couldn't pass a pension on, and that was her fighting against the So it's all about a crusade,
Yeah.
and it's every single same-sex movie now. It's about the same thing, except for there was a movie that came out last year called Love Is Strange,
Mm-hmm.
and this was about Alfred Molina and John Lithgow, who played a gay couple, an elderly gay couple. And I thought I didn't really enjoy the supporting cast in that movie. And if you read my review on thecriticalreel.com, you'll find out why. But I did enjoy the way the gay couple was portrayed in that film, because they did deal with a lot of how society views gay couples in that movie. They did deal with that, because I think it was Alfred Molina's character who used to teach in a Catholic school, when the school found out he was gay, they fired him.
Yeah.
So the movie does deal with stuff like that, but it's mostly about the two of them being happy and just trying to get on with their lives. They had to sell their house. And then the movie is about them bunking with their separate families in an attempt to find a job and get back on their feet. That was great. I enjoyed that part, and I wish more movies about homosexual love would be like that. So I'm just wondering, when this phase of the really tortured will pass. And they will just see the light and be happy being a gay couple on screen, because not only are gay couples now treated in this way, where all the stories are so tortured, but they're either used in that way or they're used for comedic relief.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Tammy last year, you haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Kathy Bates plays a lesbian, and she's got a partner, and they're just there for comedic relief. And even in the movie Sisters, it's the same thing. So it's just not. It's not a great... They're either tortured or they're comic relief. They're just not normal.
Their portrayal isn't really the best right now.
Yeah,
I would think.
Which is going against the whole cause. Which is going against the whole cause of getting, rights, equal rights for same-sex couples.
But you see that I think that's what people like. I mean, they like seeing the tortured.
People like seeing Matthew McConaughey get topless in stupid romantic comedies, so why can't they enjoy a same-sex couple, just living their lives like a couple would in a romantic comedy, for example?
People like seeing this tortured, dramatic story with the happy ending. People like
so
it.
they overcome all the obstacles.
Yeah. People think that's a triumphant.
It is
story.
It is.
They love that.
It is. I mean, that's true. Just we've seen too many of it.
Yeah.
We've seen so many of it. I mean,
I agree.
I don't know. I mean, maybe the gay community will disagree with me. Maybe they think that it's not enough. Maybe they think that they want more of these movies that have a strong message. It's hard for me to really say anything because I'm not gay myself, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But just coming from a heterosexual point of view, and I'm not saying that I'm against gay movies in any way. I just want them to be happy.
Yeah.
I want them to be about gay couples living their lives happily, not having to worry about how society views them.
And then instead of having these astronomical
Oh, they're very hungry individuals.
Yeah, they're troubled by
they're
food.
very troubled. I mean, that parfait was about to devour them whole.
God.
It has to be said.
Instead of having these astronomical problems that break them apart, the film could focus on domestic issues, and you could have drama with them fighting, but it wouldn't have to be like an astronomical problem, like in Carol. It could just be a very human story about this gay couple who have problems in a relationship, and
I like pink, you like white, I hate you.
And only an idiot would have that kind of fight. Yeah.
Well, you know what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah. But that kind of thing, where it's very ground level kind of problems, and it's just a domestic story. And I think I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree. I think it's time that the homosexual couple in film just slips out from this rock that they've been put under.
Yeah.
And just be allowed to enjoy their lives.
Yep.
Enjoy
Instead
living their
of
lives.
Being tortured or being used,
then just
or being laughed at.
Or being laughed at, or just being put under the microscope every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's enough. I don't know, and I kind of also felt like a disconnect between myself and the characters. I don't know, maybe it was in the way the film was paced, or maybe it was in like Cate Blanchett's performance, but it was hard for me to get fully invested in their problems that they were facing in the film.
I felt that way about Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, I kind of admired them
Carol.
like at arm's length, and just okay, you're in a very beautiful film.
Yeah.
You are dealing with very interesting problems and very real problems, but I don't necessarily feel like I want to cry for you.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, I just felt that little distance.
I felt more for Therese than I did for Carol.
So did I.
I was more drawn towards
even though in
Therese.
some ways Carol had the more heartbreaking problem.
Still, I was still more drawn towards Therese.
Might have been the performance.
Might have been.
It was a more welcoming performance, I think, from Rooney Mara.
Yeah.
With that said, though, I think this movie was very well executed.
Yep.
Beautifully shot.
Yes.
I do believe it deserved a nomination for Best Cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the way it looked. The production design by Judy Becker was outstanding.
Yep.
The smallest details were, I can't say they were spot on because I didn't live in the 50s,
Yes.
but they looked as authentic as I would believe the 50s to have looked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what do we think of Kyle Chandler's character, Harge?
Harge.
Mr. Harge.
What a lovely name.
What do we think of him?
Well, I felt like he was a very straightforward character.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, really. That's all I have to say about him.
I
I didn't think much of him at all, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I thought he was quite confusing, to be honest.
Oh yeah. He was confusing.
Yeah,
actually.
I wasn't really sure what his stance on
Mm-hmm.
Carol was.
Yeah.
He said many times that he loved her and that he was, but he just. What was their domestic situation? Carol said they were going through a divorce, but so she wanted the divorce?
I think
he
so.
didn't,
Yeah, she
but then
wanted the divorce and he didn't because
It-
he apparently he loved her and he wanted her and he didn't want her to be with anyone else. And in
this
not
was
wanting the
this
divorce.
was obviously during a period where in the as in the movie, homosexuality was almost a mental condition.
Yeah.
So he obviously felt that she was incapable of raising a child. And
No, I think he was using that as a way to file the injunction because he didn't want her. He wanted her, right?
Yeah.
So, and he didn't want the divorce. So he used her homosexuality as a tool for her to not want the divorce. Because
it's rather tricky, isn't it? That's why I'm just confused about his character, and I'm confused about that whole relationship. Carol and his.
It's all about custody as well, because custody of the child.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Rindy.
Oh God.
Harjan Rindy.
Another lovely name. It's all about custody of her as well, because if Carol wants the divorce, But
so she does
Harj,
want the divorce.
yeah, she does want the divorce, but Harj is using her homosexuality to get full custody of Rindy. And
But Harj doesn't want the divorce. So why is he fighting so hard for custody when it's just very...
He's fighting hard for, he's fighting for the custody so that Carol won't want the divorce. Do you see?
So that she would try and patch things up to keep the child.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's using her homosexuality for full custody so that she won't want the divorce.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's still very
confusing,
questionable. Yeah, it's still a very mystifying kind of enigmatic character.
Yeah.
What do we think of all the male characters in this movie?
I thought Richard was pretty good. I liked him.
You like Richard?
Yeah. He's pretty sad.
I can't even remember the other guy's name. The one
Danny.
Okay, you remember his name?
Yeah, the guy who worked at New York Times.
The New York Times, the writer guy.
Yeah. I thought that he was a completely redundant character.
Yeah,
until you said that
the change
to photography.
Okay, why?
Which makes sense now because he saw her work and he worked at New York Times and he said, "Oh, you should do portraits and all that, right?" And then that kind of makes sense because doing portraits brings the human element into photography and.
I see.
So I made that connection, but without knowing that fact, he's a completely redundant character.
Yeah. For the longest, not for the longest time, for about the first half of the film, I thought all the male characters, with the exception of Kyle Chandler, were pretty interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't tell them apart physically. That guy at the start of the film,
I have no idea who he is.
I don't know who he was,
Yeah.
and I was like, during the movie, I was trying to place him. I was like, is he one of these guys? Is he Richard? He's not Richard. Is he Danny? He's not Danny. Who's this guy?
I was thinking that as well.
And then there's a scene in a bar where Therese and I think Danny and Richard and some other guy are drinking. I'm like, who are these three guys? They look like triplets.
Yeah, no, but I recognize Richard because I know him from The Office.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I've never seen the actor before.
Yep.
I was just like, who are these guys? And like throughout the rest of the film, I was like, who are these guys? Really, Kyle Chandler was the only one that stood out for me. I mean, Richard, yes, because he was like a love interest for Therese. But other than that, I think the male characters just...
Yeah, Danny was redundant,
without,
and then
really.
that other guy at the bar, we don't even know who he was.
Yeah,
so,
and they try to make him important by saying that he was Danny's brother or something. He said, my kid brother...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
God.
maybe this is going somewhere, and then he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You never see that guy ever again. Pretty weird. Quite pointless. I don't know. I don't think this movie deserves a 95 on Metacritic.
It has 95 on Metacritic.
It's the highest reviewed movie of 2015.
Wow. I wonder why. Maybe we should read some of the reviews.
I don't know. It got a standing ovation at Cannes when it premiered. What were the critics just so swept up by?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, I don't know. I admire the performances.
Yeah.
I admire the production values of this movie. Like I said, the production design, the score, the cinematography, the costuming, the hair, the makeup, everything.
Yes.
I truly admire. But the plot just lacks.
The story is the thing that really gets
lacks.
me.
Like you said, we've seen this before.
So many times. Whether it's heterosexual or homosexual, we've seen this before. I don't know what new things Carol brings to the table. I don't know why it's got a 95 on Metacritic. I don't know why it got a standing ovation at Cannes. I don't know. I it's a bit justified, I suppose. If you're wondering why we're silent, we're kind of just perplexed.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's justified that it didn't receive nominations for Best Director or Best Picture at the Academy Awards because I don't think it deserves it. Like I said, I think it's just a movie that was made to be an Oscar movie.
Yeah.
It was a movie that was made, it was kind of disguised as this really sophisticated movie to make people think that it was telling more than it actually was. I don't know. Like I said, I was quite disappointed by it.
Yeah, and there was a certain level of hype about this movie. You know, it was nominated for Golden Globe and stuff, and I thought it was. I thought it was hyped up quite a bit, and as I was watching it, I was just thinking, is something gonna happen that really makes it?
That really just gives it that oomph, and like, then, oh shit, this is the 95 score that we've been waiting for.
Yeah, and then nothing.
Yeah. What are you giving Carol?
I gave it 3.5.
Yeah, I'm giving it 3.5 as well.
Right, I was thinking, I thought 3 might be a bit harsh.
Yeah,
Definitely not deserving of a 4.
Yeah, I'm giving it 3.5. What is your best moment?
Wait,
what are you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I gave it 3.5 purely because of the cinematography and the production design.
Yeah,
and the performances.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that's why I don't think it deserves a 4, and that's why I was teetering on 3 and 3.5. But yeah. Yes, best moment.
Wait, hold on. Before we get into the best moment, is there anything else that you have?
Nah. I was going to talk more about the cinematography, but we kind of said enough.
All right. So what's your best moment for Carol?
My best moment was the second iteration of the very first scene.
Because, when it's shown from the other point of view,
yes.
when it's shown from Theresa's point of view.
Yes, because in the first scene,
strangely, the first one, it's shown from that guy's point of view.
Yeah,
and we don't know who the guy
is. And then we think, okay, maybe this guy's gonna become a character, but then he becomes a nobody. Yeah. So the first scene of the movie is shown from this guy's point of view, and then Therese and Carol having dinner, and then later on in the movie they show the scene again, but from Therese's point of view, and yes.
Takes on a different meaning, you know. It's filmed differently. It's
the exact same thing happens, but
you find out what was said before the scene took place the first time.
And then you see Therese's expressions during that, and I thought
we're not giving much away at all. I mean, but you know, you if you've seen the movie, you know the scenes we're talking about.
That was my best moment.
My best moment was the custody hearing. Carol's plea, as it were. When she's fighting for Rindy.
That was really good.
That was really good. That was the scene you mentioned earlier about the whole acting chops that she had. I know that was the best moment for me because well acted, well written, and in a movie that was really not that emotional. That was the most emotional scene for me. And it was nicely played out. What's your worst moment of Carol?
My worst moment was, I was just like, I don't know, but it's that scene where Danny tries to kiss her in that New York Times place when they first go and visit New York Times.
This is an awkward romance scene.
Danny's completely redundant. That's why
he's redundant. All the guys, just remove all the guys in this movie. You don't need them.
I was thinking of all those moments with the guys. And that was probably the worst one for me.
Interesting, because my worst moment is also one of the guys. I just have here my worst moment as the Richard story. I don't know.
Okay.
For me, I don't know, this whole story about him having to go overseas and wanting her to follow him, and then she chooses and it's ended so abruptly. She leaves him in the lurch, and we never experience anything with their story again, and at the end he's dancing with another chick, and I don't know, it's just what.
Fair enough.
Yeah, doesn't do anything.
Actually, the only male character that I thought was interesting was Tommy.
I don't even know who Tommy is.
What's his name from Gotham?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was interesting.
Yeah, Corey Michael Smith has this very kind of ingratiating,
enigmatic,
the whole Edward enigmatic performance. He's got this quirky kind of ingratiating kind of smile,
especially the way he's revealed. That was she's getting ice, and then the camera just
that was like, whoa.
I was like, whoa,
this
dude.
guy's creepy. He does that very well. I think he nails that part of the character very nicely.
So he was alright.
But then there's not enough of him, and I mean, he's not much of a character either. He's just kind of a
plot
tool.
Device.
He's pretty much a device that the plot uses to, create some dirt on Carol, as it were. Okay, what are your recommended viewings for Carol?
Kind of a spoiler, but never mind.
Well, like I said,
we already said
gave them one. How is that a spoiler? Okay, it doesn't matter. What are your recommended viewings?
I have one recommended viewing, and it's something that we mentioned earlier.
Blues Warmest Color.
Yes.
Oh, you boring twat.
What? No, okay. Here's why. All right. Well, we kind of said it earlier. Yes. But yeah, this is also a film about this lesbian couple that goes through this turmoil and all that.
Very tumultuous relationship. Yes. Yeah. And the movie kind of charts it from start to finish as well. Yeah.
I just feel that it is a much better portrayal, like we said earlier, of a lesbian relationship.
And of a character specifically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would give Blues Warmest Color 5 stars.
Yep.
I would. And Carol, I give 3.5. So that kind of speaks for itself.
I agree. I think Blues Warmest Color is a far superior film. I was gonna choose it, but I kind of have a feeling you would choose
Mhm.
it, so I didn't choose it. I have two.
Yes.
One is Love is Strange,
Okay.
directed by Ira Sachs. Talked enough about that. And the other one is Thelma and Louise.
Oh.
Now Thelma and Louise, because when I was watching Carol, I was like, this is lesbian Thelma and Louise. It's, they go on this road trip together to get away from their dreary, mundane lives or the problems they're facing in their lives, but just with a lot of lesbian sex. I mean, and it reminded me a lot of Thelma and Louise, where
I can see how
Gina
it would.
Davis and Susan Sarandon, to escape from their humdrum existence, go on this road trip together and become these rebels. Carol is a much more optimistic view about this couple, this female couple going on the road and making a life for themselves, whereas Thelma and Louise was more pessimistic or realistic, however you want to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just think if you want to see Carol, watch Thelma and Louise. There's no romance between the two, Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon, and they're purely platonic. But in terms of the kind of characters that they are and the reasons that they go away together, they're all there. Directed by Ridley Scott, of course, 1991. Go check that out. Those are my recommended viewings.
All right.
Anything else about Carol that you would like to get off your chest?
No.
Are we good with Carol
Yes.
this week?
We
Have
are.
we pleased our many listeners sitting in front of their speakers?
Our millions of listeners.
Our millions of listeners. I think we've pleased them very, very intimately this week with Carol. If you're wondering why this episode is coming to you so late, we have decided to change the publishing days. Yeah, we should have said that at the beginning, at the start.
Yeah.
Our episodes are going to come out on Fridays from now on. Don't ask why, just because.
Mhm.
We have our reasons. We are selfish and we don't want to share them with you.
Yeah.
Friday is the day to look forward to now if you are a Critical Reel fan, which you should be. Fridays. Other titles that are out this week, opening out this week, The Fifth Wave, which looks absolutely atrocious.
Oh my god, yeah.
The Fifth Wave, starring Chloe Grace Moretz and some other people. The Big Short, which is a movie that we want to see, nominated for Best Picture, and Goosebumps.
Oh yeah.
So these three movies are out this week.
We have seen Goosebumps.
We have seen Goosebumps. It's much better than we thought it would be.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
If you do want to check out these films, I suggest you do.
Mm-hmm.
And also check out Carol, because we are doing a freaking episode on Carol. So definitely go see it.
Yeah, if you've made it all the way here and you still haven't seen Carol,
You're a piece of crap.
Pretty weird.
Once again,
No, you're not a piece of crap. We love you for listening to the whole thing.
You're a lovable piece of crap.
Don't call them piece of crap, dude. All right. But yeah, you're weird.
The great choices in your life. You're either weird or you're a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't forget, please find me on Facebook at facebook.com/thecriticalreel and at Twitter at thecriticalreel. And Jay, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at dialoguesc.
And go visit Hooked on Film. Not go visit hookedonfilm.com.au. Go visit hookedonfilm.wordpress.com.au. And if that is wrong,
that's probably wrong, because I think it's like Hooked on Film WA something. But
okay, if that is wrong, just Google Hooked on Film or go visit the Facebook page.
yes,
don't forget to subscribe.
Just visit the Facebook page.
Yeah, just visit the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Problem solved. Don't forget to subscribe to our iTunes channel. Please rate and review our episodes and download them. We will love you forever.
Yep.
I think that does it. That does it this week. That does it.
That does it.
Does that do it?
It does that.
Good. Until next week. Watch movies till the day you die.
Bye bye.